Hey everybody, so Big Mike here. I thought I would answer the second question that Mogul Media asked me, and that was, when you were working for England, what were some of your favorite routes, and what are some of your favorite routes now? So I'm going to answer that real quick. So the reason I'm thinking about it, the reason I want to answer it now is because I'm in Colorado. I'm on I-70. I'm, bipping along, 75, 76 miles an hour, heading for, going to Corinne, Nevada, not Nevada, Utah, for my trip this time. And so, here I am, I'm bipping along and everything, and I've been up this route a number of times, and I really like this route. So there's some parts of it that are boring, and if you watch my video about this trip going to Utah or whatever, or this load or whatever, you're gonna see that that I do get bored. There's certain parts of it. It's a long way up here, and I left out of Chillicothe, Texas this morning, and went trying to get to Cheyenne, Wyoming tonight, which is doable. I could certainly do it. But to answer the question about some of my favorite routes when I was working for England, it's really hard to say, because every route that that I was on, there was something cool to see. I worked for about 3 weeks in Sterling, Illinois. They had the Walmart account in Sterling, Illinois, while I was working with them. And I got to admit that some of my favorite routes to work or to drive were probably in that area. Just because you honestly had, you saw there's like a different culture there. I guess, in the South, you go south and the culture's, we go outside and we have picnics and barbecues and things like that. We spend some time outside. We spend a lot of time outside, and we're all kind of laid back. There's no real. How do I say this? There's no real stickler as far as tradition is concerned. There's not a whole lot of sticking to tradition, I guess, is what I should say. Whereas up in the Illinois area, one of the things I always liked to see was, I would drive through a town right around dinner time, and you could see, the windows open and the dining room table set up, and there's the mom bringing food in the dining room table, in the dining room table, and everybody's at the dining room table eating and all that stuff. And that was always one of my favorite places to drive. As far as over the road, I always liked, hold on, bump. Anyway, as far as over the road is concerned, I always loved going into Pennsylvania and traveling along maybe the Lincoln Highway or through the Allegheny Mountains. I always thought that was really cool. I like I-80. I'm going to be on I-80, or is it 88? It's either 80 or 88, going into Salt Lake City. That's a nice route, especially the Wyoming section. So it's not as pretty as going up I-70 through Colorado, through Glenwood Canyon and everything. Really, as far as interstate is concerned, there's not really anything that compares to I-70 through Glenwood Canyon and everything. Everybody loves that part. But there are a lot of different places that, that look really nice. So, I like going up 287. A lot of people don't. I like to drive, though. That's part of my problem. But I like to go 287 from Dallas. I think that's a fun route for me. I've done it a number of times, plenty of times. At this point, there's all kinds of old cars to look at, and old buildings and stuff. I love 287 going north out of Amarillo, because you see some history along the side. Like there's a somewhere, it's right there around the Oklahoma Panhandle. And it's either on the Texas side or on the Colorado side, or even in the Oklahoma Panhandle. But as you're going north, 2 lanes. As you're going north, bump. Not that bad. And there's like this little structure that obviously is a house that somebody built probably 200 years ago, or 150, 200 years ago. And there it is, and it's, you know, it's still there, and it's kind of, you can see where they dug like a corner out and built the house up against that corner. And you can, you know, there's a window there still and everything. So the honest truth is, do I have a favorite route now or when I worked with England? When I worked with England, probably my favorite route was I-80, just because I was on it all the time, you know, and it would go, you know, it would go clear across to into Pennsylvania and go all the way across to Salt Lake City, and that was a really nice route. Or maybe coming up the Grapevine out of the LA basin, I don't know. Now, what, you know, my favorite route is probably to go out I-40, to go up to Amarillo, go out I-40. I like going that way. I-10 is nice, as it has some good scenery, but I think I like I-40 better. Just, you get to paint a desert, and it's a little bit cooler. You get to go through Flagstaff, you know, things like that. And I always like crossing the Mississippi River. So I guess that's your answer. You know, I kind of like going everywhere. There's different things that I find fascinating. Like today, you know, I am cruising across, heading west in Colorado on I-70, and I'm looking forward to seeing the Rocky Mountains. And I haven't seen them. You know, I get to see the kind of the tail end of them down in Arizona and New Mexico, but I haven't seen the Rocky Mountains probably in about 3 years. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. But anyway, that's pretty much it. The best I can do. Mogul Media, if you're watching this, I still got to draw the thing. I was gonna draw it, but at home, but I spent a lot of time hanging out and drinking, so now I got to sit down and do it in the next couple of days. Anyway. That's pretty much it. Like I said, you know, like I always say, like everybody else says, you know, their videos. If you like this video, you know, subscribe, keep watching me. If you didn't like this video, I don't care. I make them for myself. So I make them for me and my mother and my family, so they know what I'm doing and going on. I put them out there publicly so people can find them easy. And I try to put what information I know out there because I feel like maybe I could, you know, hopefully I can help somebody else. So, but like, you know, like I always say, if you like the videos, hit the thumbs up. If you want to keep following me, hit subscribe. You don't have to, but if you do, that'd be great. And other than that, like I'm trying to do now, just keep the shiny side up. I'll see y'all down the road.